Certainly. Now, as you saw from the footage, I am here at the Didcot Railway Centre to see none other than Flying Scotsman, my personal favourite steam engine. And you've got three other locomotives here as well. This one right here is 4079 Pendennis Castle, of course the main rival for Flying Scotsman, hence the name of the event, Rivals Reunited. Over here we've got another castle class. This is 5051 Drizzling Castle. I hope I pronounced that correctly, or later named Earl Bathurst. And this engine right here, that's a King class. This is 6023 King Edward II. Of course, as you would expect, Flying Scotsman is receiving all the attention, and you know, obviously the probably the most famous steam engine in the UK, and quite possibly in the world. But yeah, we're going to have a closer look, not just at Flying Scotsman, which will be running later, and Pendennis Castle as well. We're going to have a look around the railway centre, and I have been here before. Oh yeah, Flying Scotsman is getting ready, so yeah, catch you in a bit. So, in full view of Pendennis Castle and Flying Scotsman, you might be wondering, what's the rivalry between these two engines? Well, exactly 100 years ago this year, so 1925, these two engines were exhibited at the British Empire exhibition in Wembley, and they were positioned next to each other. Now, the rivalry started because the Great Western put a sign next to Pendennis Castle claiming that this is the most powerful engine in the country, something which the LNER somewhat claimed as well. But of course, Scotsman was bigger, looked bigger, and it attracted more attention. So as a result, this started a rivalry between the two engines. Now, Pendennis Castle famously went on trial to the LNER about a year or so after the Empire exhibition, where it supposedly outclassed the Gresley A1 Pacifics. And following the completion of the trials, Gresley took Collard's advice on how to improve the valve gear on the A1s because they were not particularly reliable. But he took on Collard's advice and he managed to improve the valve gear on the A1 Pacifics to make them almost as reliable as the Great Western Castles. Now, of course, after that they went their own separate ways, and then Pendennis was famously sent in the late 1970s down to Australia, where the two engines reunited in 1989 during Flying Scotsman's visit there. And now, for the first time in just under 40 years, the two rivals are now reunited here at the Didcot Railway Centre. And this is 100 years on from their first meeting at Wembley, and now 100 years later, both of them meet again here at Didcot Railway Centre. So, bit of a side note. So this right here, as you can see, is a Class 52 Western. Quick shout out to my friend Stephen, who runs the account Down the Line Rail. He's tagged below. And the reason why is because this is his favourite class of diesel. Now, it's one of 7 preserved. This particular one is D1023 Western Fusilier. Now, you might be asking, what's this doing here? Well, this is actually owned by the NRM. However, because of the works taking place at York to obviously refurb and expand it, there's not enough space at York to store this, and there's also not enough space at Shildon. So it's here at Didcot on loan for display only. So it's not operational. It hasn't actually run since it was withdrawn back in 1978. But as you can see, it is in the livery, which it was in at the time of its withdrawal. And yeah, it looks really, really nice. Of course, I really love Westerns. Obviously built from 1961 to about 1963. and they were replaced from about 1975 onwards to 1978 by the Class 50s and the HSDs. But yeah, it's really nice to see, you know, a big diesel here at Didcot amongst all the Great Western steam engines. So just in front is one of the very well-known 5700 class pannier tanks. This is 3738, and in between that right there is I think that's a Hall class. Yeah, that is indeed a Hall class. It's Hinderton Hall, which is 5900. But yeah, loving it right here at Didcot. I've been here many times before, but obviously I've come to see Flying Scotsman. But yeah, it's just really nice to see a Western right here, because I really love Westerns.
I know, I do too, everyone does. Let's go and find one we can ride on.
So, as Flying Scotsman passes, I'm going to say goodbye. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. Going to head home soon. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Here's Flying Scotsman. Love this engine. So yeah, I'm going to take one more shot of Flying Scotsman passing in the opposite direction, and then I'll say goodbye. So thanks very much for this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.